We're going to be talking about 5 conversations that couples need to have before merging their finances. Coming up. Welcome back to an all-new edition of the Sunday Night Sit Down with America's #1 money couple. I'm Talent.
And I'm Ty, and we're from hisandhermoney.com, where we're managing money, marriage, and everything in between.
The Sunday Night Sit Down is being brought to you by our friends at Policy Genius. That's your go-to stop to meet all of your insurance needs. They have a great tool on their website that's totally free, where all you have to do is input your information and you'll get instant quotes from multiple reputable insurance providers to help you make an informed decision about your insurance. To find out more details, all you have to do is go to hisandhermoney.com/policygenius. And of course, the link will be down below in the description box. Well, we want to bring you all a video to help because we know that plenty of you are engaged or newly married or maybe even seasoned in your marriage, but you have separate finances, and you all have been having a discussion because you all have heard us say time and time again, if you want to successfully blend marriage and money, you cannot have separation or division in your finances. Finances is one of the biggest reasons that marriages and relationships fall apart. So that definitely cannot be an area where division lives, and you have to be united in your finances. So now you've come to this place where you're about to make that move. You're about to make the bold step of joining your finances. But before you do that, there are some important conversations that you need to have up front to make sure that that transition is a smooth one. The first conversation that you need to have is about your debt. How much debt do you have? How much debt do you have? How much debt do they have? Therefore, how much debt do you have collectively? This is a big mistake that we made prior to us getting married, because I was withholding the fact that I had a bunch of debt. I was scared that if I told Ty about this debt that I accumulated, that she would run in the other direction. And so unfortunately, I hid it, I concealed it, and I didn't talk about it. You can see the details of that story in a video that we put here on YouTube called How Financial Infidelity Almost Ended Our Relationship. Go and check that out at the conclusion of this episode. But we got through that, and we were able to get on the same page, and we were able to become debt-free as a result. And for you, you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to lay all your cards out on the table about exactly how much debt that you have, because that's the only way that you can come up with a game plan to attack the debt. You first must have all the information, which means you need to know all the balances and the totals of your debt so that you can make a plan to get out of debt.
Right. The second conversation that you must have must be all about creating a budget. Yes, that is so very, very, very important. You must have a budget every single month. One person should not be handling all the finances nor making all of the decisions. You both need to play a role in creating your budget. Now, we have discussed before here on our channel that in our marriage, I am the one that physically, literally takes the numbers and I input them into the system, into our budget software that we like to use. However, there is no category that I set on my own that we have not discussed and talked about. Every single time, we discuss how much should we budget for this category? What about that category? Well, we were a little short on last month. Do you think that we need to bump that category up? These are the conversations that we're having back and forth around creating our budget. Now, we highly recommend that you guys choose a day of the week that you like to sit down and have these talks. As a matter of fact, choose what day of the month that you want to sit down and discuss the budget. It may be 5 days prior to the beginning of the next month, where you sit down and you kind of go over the month ahead and you discuss all the upcoming expenses and things like that that you can foresee that may come up in your budget. But having the conversations around your budget is imperative for a healthy financial relationship.
Conversation number 3 that must take place is all about your spending habits. Who's the spender? Who's the saver? Because we found that usually there's one of each in a relationship. One of you is the natural spender and one of you is the natural saver. Now, sometimes there's 2 spenders or 2 savers in a relationship, but majority of the time there's one of each. And you need to know that. Why? Because we are trying our hardest to teach you that when you're in a relationship and you're dealing with your finances, you must attack it as a team. And if you're going to be a championship caliber team, you need to know what your strengths are, and you need to play to those strengths. Don't make the mistake of thinking that you have to be a saver naturally to be the strong one when it comes to finances. No, spenders like myself have a place in the game plan as well, because sometimes in some situations we have to lean on my strength, which is being the natural spender, to go and have fun and splurge here and splurge there. But then there's other times where we have to lean on Ty because she's a natural saver and we need to hit some financial goals or hit some benchmarks with our finances. And so we both have learned to play towards our strengths, and that is what makes us a good team. Know that both of you all have strengths and you need to play towards those, but you need to know what those strengths are. You need to identify and take a good hard look at your habits around money to figure out your spending habits and to figure out your strengths so that you all can play the game and win.
Conversation number 4 that you should have is all geared around your credit. Now this kind of ties in with conversation number 1, which is debt. And your credit, pulling your credit report will help you do just that, have the conversations around your debt and things like that. So we highly recommend that you pull your credit reports from all 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. You can go to annualcreditreport.com to pull those for free. But pull those reports to start having a conversation. Go over them together, okay? Check out if there are any discrepancies that maybe you need to dispute. Or this may also be an opportunity where you get to share and be transparent with your significant other and let them know, like, hey, I have this credit card that you didn't really know anything about, and sorry, oops, but now we're going to like try to win at this, right? So you want to make sure that you guys are talking about your credit. Talk about bad credit, talk about good credit, talk about some of the steps that maybe that you want to achieve in order to get good credit. As a matter of fact, we have a video here on our channel where we'll make sure that we link it on the screen as well as in the description box below, where we discuss 4 credit resources that will help you with your credit. So you definitely want to check that video out. That video will help you all around your credit.
The last conversation that you need to have is all about your goals. What are some financial goals that you want to hit? What do you want your life to look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Heck, what do you want your life to look like next year from a financial standpoint? That's the why. That's the motivation. That's the picture that you need to paint before you start getting into the nuts and the bolts about balances and budgets and game plans. You need to talk about why you're about to embark on this journey together. We need to see what we're trying to get to. Where's the destination that we are trying to reach? And that's why you all need to take time on a consistent basis to dream together, to set goals, to talk about life now and the life that you want to create later. Because that's going to help motivate you as you go through the process of getting out of debt, as you go through the process of learning how to budget consistently, as you go through the process of raising your credit score. There are going to be some trying times where you're not going to feel as motivated as you need to be, and you're going to need to lean on those goals, those dreams, and those ambitions that you have in your heart, and you need to share them with each other to help keep each other motivated, to help keep each other accountable.
That's right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment in the comment section below letting us know what were some of the tough conversations, and maybe not so tough conversations that you had with your significant other geared around handling your finances. We are a community where we learn from each other. You guys give some great suggestions, great ideas, and we love reading them, and so do other people as well too. So leave your comment below. Don't forget, check us out over at our website at hisandhermoney.com and meet us back here next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where you will see the both of us sharing with you.
And don't forget, when it comes to having these tough talks about money with your spouse, we have a book that we wrote just for this point. It's called Money Talks, the ultimate couple's guide to communicating about money. You can pick up your copy at hisandhermoney.com so you and your spouse can get on the same page financially, finally. Well, that's it for this week, guys. It's been great. Until next time.
Bye.
Peace. We're going to be talking about 5 conversations that couples need to have before merging their finances. Coming up.
Sorry. Now this kind of ties in with conversation number 1 in regards to your debit, and the proper way to start having the conversation about, your debit, debit, credit. Okay.